There we go. 8:30. Yeah, the Apple clock just turned 8:30. It's time for GGGaming Gone Mad. It's our 10th episode. Can you believe it? 10 weeks since Gary and I first got together to give away some exciting promos and talk sports betting. We've had some good fun. We've had guest appearances from the like of Henrik Swart and, of course, Gary's dog. Who would ever forget that one? And on the line now, he's back from Johannesburg. He's finished with all his poker tournaments. It's Gary Lentin. How are you, Gary?
Brent, top of the world. How are you doing, my mate?
Good, man. Good. Your poker tournaments go off well. I believe you had a foreign winner of quite a few of the events.
Yeah, the Super High Roller the event one went to the same bloke, Rainer Kempe, who's the third-ranked poker player in the world. And the main event was won by his girlfriend, Maria Ho from America, one of the good hoes. So they took back home to America, Germany and America, what, 2.5 million rand in prize money, Brent? But I mean, it's not quite a drop in the ocean, but it wasn't huge considering we gave away over 20 million rand in prize money the past 10 days. Crazy. Wow. All records, unbelievable. So it's a massive festival for poker lovers in South Africa as well. I mean, I'm sure you had anybody in the poker world up there. Yeah, we had all the major poker players that were in the country at the time. And we had people from Asia, Middle East, America, as I said, Europe, South America, just a lot of players. And the African continent was so well supportive of the event, Brent. Just people from, I can think of 12, 15 countries in Africa that had representatives here. And they're improving a hell of a lot. Don't let anybody fool you. Poker in the continent is pretty. Oh, well, that's good to hear. I enjoy a good poker game. I don't really trust myself in those tournaments. Had one or two experiences and didn't go that well. And just talking of tournaments, before I forget, Gary, a few of the guys asking about the two guys who topped the Master Punter competition. We think we might get them on the show at some stage. Do you think it's a possibility? Look, it's my slackness, Brent. Every week you tell me on Tuesday, let's get them on. I say yes. You say, right, this is what you have to do technically. And you send me one or two links and it's just far too confusing for me. But I will make an effort on Monday to make sure that they linked up and you know what to do with them and they're ready for Thursday night. We'll get probably both of them on together. I think it'll make for a better show if they're both on. Don't you think so? Yeah, it would be good. It would be good to have them. And I think the guys out there, and we've got a lot of guys joining the live comments now. I think they'll really enjoy to see the sort of strategies that the guys used. Obviously, horse racing punters probably through and through, but it'll be interesting to see. And if they do have Twitter accounts, I can guarantee you them, if they give us the Twitter handles, they'll get quite a few followers from the guys who watch the show without a doubt. But Gary, let's move on to the weekend sport. Just to mention to the guys, we're going to be covering the competitions at the end. We've got a competition. We're calling it the Pressure Test. Hashtag the Pressure Test on Twitter. It's going to be the first time we're running it. And we're not giving all the details out now, but we will tell you how to enter at the end. It's not one of those competitions where you have to enter particularly quickly. So you can relax. If you don't catch all the information now, it'll be on good for the game. And you can catch it afterwards. And then, of course, we will be having our competition for the live guys where the guys are going to have to be quick on the draw to get into the action there. And we are giving away a total of 5,000 Rand of vouchers, of course, if they can beat your tip, Gary. And that's going to come on the Curry Cup. But let's start with the game, the Sharks against the Lions. I see you guys are still 12 points on your site. Lions plus 12, I think, at 6-10. There has been a lot of money for the Lions, and that's purely on the basis of team selection. Warren Whiteley and Deontay coming into the team. Is it perhaps a bit of overreaction? I think so. I mean, obviously they're going to make a difference. It was Jantjies not the third Springbok that's been included. I'm not sure. I had a feeling that he was, I think it's an overreaction. I think the Sharks are still a much better side than the Lions. I think that home ground advantage is going to play a major part in the game. And I still think it's a double-digit game. I must be perfectly honest, Brent. Yeah, I do too. I was happy to go in, quite frankly, originally at 12.5. Haven't got involved yet, but I have seen some handicaps as low as 5.5, and I think that's asking to be backed in. I've seen it happen before, Gary, at this stage of the tournament where you get a few returning bucks, but they're not in the spirit of the Curry Cup. They haven't been involved. And quite often it's the team who's been turning out and turning in the performances every week that actually perform. Exactly. I agree with that. And that's what history shows us, Brett. I'll still make the Sharks. I mean, if other bookmakers have got 5.5 and 6.5 points, even 8.5 points, I don't expect punters to come back to Sharks with me, right? If they can get 5.5 to even 10.5, go take it elsewhere. And then my advice to them would be to go take it elsewhere. I really think that the Sharks will win this game comfortably. You know what I'm saying? Go there, take the Sharks. You know what I mean? And yeah, maybe the Sharks get off to a good start as well. And then they want to cover a little bit with the Lions, come through to me. We'll have, you know what I mean? We're betting in play and everything. Yeah, I've got quite strong opinions on both Curry Cup games this weekend.
Well, I see Ruan Faris saying the Lions looked quite a lot better last weekend when they played the Pumas. I'm not totally sure I agree with him there. They finished around the handicap, and I thought the Lions butchered a lot of chances against the Pumas last week. So, yeah, Gary and I are very much in the Sharks camp, Gary. And interesting to see if we agree on the next game as well. I've got a feeling we're going to. It's Western Province at home to the Bulls.
They played the Bulls last week at Ellis Park, was it?
What's that, sorry?
Last week.
No, they played in Nelspruit last week, and they beat the Pumas.
They weren't in Durban playing the Sharks, right?
Sorry,
They weren't in Durban playing the Sharks, right?
No.
Okay, thanks, Ruan. Thank you. Just,
Yeah, no, that's it. By the way, they lost by 16 points to the Sharks when they did play them in Durban. I think it was something like 37-21 earlier in the season as well. So the Sharks have got some good form there as well. But let's move on to the other game. It's Western Province against the Bulls. I handicapped this game, Gary, at I think the 19.5-point mark. And I've seen various ranging from 21.5 to 18. It seems to have come into around the 18 mark. I see that's where you guys are at the moment. Western Province minus 18.
And I think that the justification that it's only 18, and I use the word only,
yes,
for the Curry Cup semi-final, everybody says. Because if you saw what happened, and I'm sure you did, yes, I know it was wet and conditions were unplayable, but they looked like they were heading for 100 last week, the Bulls versus Province, And I just don't know how they're going to turn it around. I just can't see. It wasn't only the wet, it was also the scrums and the set pieces and everything. And I just think that Province have proven throughout the season that they're a really good rugby side. There's no question about that. And the Bulls have proven that they're a really rubbish rugby side throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? So why should a really good side struggle against a really bad side? They shouldn't. Logic tells me, and history and what we saw last week, that I think the Storm is going to give them a harding. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than 18 at the first half, at the break.
I can tell you, Henrik in the live comments agreeing with you. He says he wouldn't back the Lions plus 12.5 for stolen money. He's all over the Sharks as well. I know he likes the Western Province. He's caught them right every game of the season, which effectively means I think he's gone on the minus every game, because I believe that Western Province have beaten the handicap every time. And the way they scrummed and demolished the Bulls last week, it really is hard to see anyway back. And Gary, one of the interesting things, I've done a lot of studying when I've been writing my betting previews over the years. People often think playoff rugby, it's going to be close. And particularly, what I've shown over the years is in actual fact, there's actually often big margins. And one of the reasons for that is when a team gets 10, 12 points ahead, the other team has to start chasing the game. They're not necessarily chasing a losing bonus point. And
Correct.
The winning team is not necessarily chasing a 4-try bonus point. So they tend to take their 3 points on offer and they build that lead.
Yeah, that's 100%, Brent. And you've done your stats and your studying and you're correct about that. And that's exactly what I think will happen here. I think that both sides, both coastal sides, will open up useful leads and just keep continuing to build on them. And you'll see a lot of mistakes coming in from the two Gauteng sides. And honestly, I wouldn't. If you had to say to me, combine what I think the difference will be of the two games at the end, if you combine the two minuses, I think it's going to be well over 40. I really believe that, So which means that if you think it's going to be more than 30, if you back both minuses, which you don't. With me, I'm talking about, which you don't have to. You're guaranteed to win at least one. Am I right, Brent? If it gets to more than 30. Am I wrong?
No. Yeah, it should be. I don't know. I haven't thought about it that way, to be honest.
I like both minuses. So I'm not going to take the double. I'm going to just bet both of them and collect both of them.
Yeah, I'm also, I'm not interested in getting involved in the double either. I'll be going for that. Sean Nicholas reckons the Bulls are in for a long day at the office. So the guys are going. Henrik also reckons Western Province on the halftime handicap. So it seems as though you got a lot of support, which means I think a lot of the guys are possibly involved in the competition later are going to kind of not want to beat your cert in a way, because it looks like their money might be on it as well.
Look, you mentioned to me when we were off air as well that you're going to have a soccer show a little bit later. What I'm going to do, I don't know, it's probably too late for you to change the graphics, I would imagine, Brent.
Yes, but we can always put it on the good for the game side afterwards.
For the game, exactly what I'm offering on the rugby. If you beat my rugby bet, I'm going to give, I think, 5,000 Rand. We agreed. Am I right, Brent?
Right.
I'm going to give a soccer tip as well. And if I'm wrong with that one, then we're going to give 2,500. So exactly half. And you know how we're doing it. How we're going to exactly half is what we'll give if my soccer tip is incorrect.
Okay, excellent. Gary, what I'm going to say there is, guys, when we get to the end of the show, I'll bring up the slide for the rugby bet. And you can beat it. And then I'll bring the same slide up, but with the soccer, I'll bring it actually on the soccer show, which Chris and I'll be on at 10 o'clock. So you will have to be watching that one live as well, because I am going to change the password. So it won't just be a question of mentioning that now. And as you'll see, we're giving away quite a few prizes. So you'll certainly want to watch. A lot of guys picking up on the Yorkie, and they are stressing that it's a Yorkie in the background because, of course, that was one of the competition a couple of weeks ago. Gary, just quickly, anything then jumped out for you on the card elsewhere, whether it be racing, soccer, or anything like that this weekend?
There's a lot of soccer that I like, Brent. There really is. You know what I'm saying? My best bet in the soccer, which I haven't discussed with you, is going to be Everton to beat Crystal Palace. I just think Everton is playing some quality football already this season. I think Palace, are a bit of a one-trick pony. They rely a hell of a lot on Zaha, who from time to time can go missing. You know what I'm saying? On tough away games, and I fear that might happen this weekend. And to me, that's a standout bet, Everton to beat Crystal Palace. I think that United will get a harding from Chelsea. Liverpool look like they're going to win away from home. Arsenal look like good things. The only of the top sides that I worry about, if I remember correctly, I think that Spurs go to West Ham. And I would steer clear of Spurs, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to hook together Chelsea, Man City, the usual suspects, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal, I think you'll get your money from that quad. And my best bet for a single standout round about the even money market, pretty close to even money, Everton to beat Crystal Palace.
Great. Well, we'll bring a competition up. So, guys, if you're watching this show, make sure you don't only tune into the handicap at 9 o'clock, but we've also got the soccer show, the English Premier League, at 10 o'clock, and we'll throw a competition in at the end of that.
So, do you got 8:30 till about 11 o'clock?
Sorry?
Do you start to this at 8:30 with me and you finish about 11 o'clock?
Yes, I do, because we're going to do a Telkom knockout show as well. So I'm pretty buggered by the end, I must say. But, Gary, for me, talking betting is never too much of a problem. And so
porn show at midnight as well, just to keep cards with insomnia. Wow. Interest. Hard, Brent?
What's that?
You work pretty hard.
I work pretty hard, yeah. But I do enjoy it. I must say, it's always been a hobby of mine, sports betting. And yeah, when you're on a good run, and this year I must say I haven't done too badly, becomes a little bit easier as well. But Gary, let's talk then about the competition we're going to do next week. We're calling it the pressure test. Now we'll go into more detail next week as to what this is going to be and exactly what the prize is going to be. But essentially, you've got to be willing, if you're going to enter this competition, you've got to be willing to come on the show next week. I'll get you set up technically in that. And there's going to be some action on the show. Mm-hmm. But let me take you across now to the slide. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll just talk you through that quickly. You will be able to read this afterwards as well. I'm just on the website. I see you've got a soccer player as an ambassador for you there, Gary.
Yeah. We sponsor Jeremy Brocky there, he played for Mamelodi Sundowns. He plays a little bit for the All Blacks, what they call not the All Blacks, the New Zealand soccer side. Yeah. So we've got quite a few specials that we run with him. We get a free bet when he scores a goal for Mamelodi Sundowns. We've got a lot of things that we do with him. You know what I mean? He's a pretty cool guy, and we're very happy to be associated with him and have him on board.
Has he scored a goal yet?
Scored one in a friendly before the season started. I don't think he's knocked one in the tournament, in the real competition yet.
Okay, right. Let's run through. I'm just going to run through the pressure test before we get into the final competition. So to win this competition, you'll get into the pressure test next Thursday. We will give details of the prize next week, but it will be worth it. Definitely. It will be a bit of pressure on you as well. You've got to log on to Superbrew, register for a competition. Look for the Champions Cup Rugby. I tried to do it on the semi-finals of the Curry Cup, but they've closed the competition already. Search for the pool, hashtag the pressure test, which is what we'll call it on Twitter, and you join the pool with the password GGGaming Gone Mad. I've set this pool up that you have to have a password to get in, so you must use GGGaming Gone Mad to get into this pool. So it's only guys effectively who watch the show and are probably on the Good for the Game forum and Twitter that will be able to enter. Just to bring up the second part there, you make your predictions for the Champions Cup Rugby this weekend, and whoever's in the yellow cap at the end of the weekend, this is a 1-week competition, whoever's in the yellow cap's gonna win, and they're gonna come into the pressure test next week. In the event of a tie, we will push the competition back a week, and we'll have a bit of a playoff. And if you can't find the pool, let me just hide that for a second. If you can't find the pool, I'll stick the link below this video to the Super Brew competition, or you can just email me and I'll send you the link. No problem there. Okay, guys, get ready now. We're coming to the time of the competition where you're going to enter the competition to win your share of the 5,000 vouchers. And yeah, beat the cert. Gary is going Western Province -18 versus the Bulls. The first 7 punters to tweet at Brent Graham, the surname of the GGGaming ambassador playing for Sundowns. Hopefully you caught the hint just before we started here. You must put a link to the show and hashtag GGGaming Gone Mad. We'll get their share of 5,000 Rand in free bets if the Bulls finish within 19 points of Western Province. Just to go through the prize split, I'm sure some guys are tweeting already. we're mixing things up a bit this week, Gary? First 4 correct tweets qualify for a 500 Rand free bet.
The 4th correct
tweet gets the big one, 1,500. The 6th correct tweet gets 500, and the 7th gets 1,000. So that's 5,000 Rand in total. Hopefully, I haven't stuffed that up. And yeah, it means there's a bit of fun, and it's not just the first guy who's going to get it. When I could tell you, Oracle's already got his tweet in, so he's going to get a shock to find out he hasn't won the big one.
Yeah. And obviously you're limited to just one entry, Brent. Is that
yes, limited to just one entry there. Yeah.
The way our viewership is going, you know what I mean? The person that gets 7 could come in around about Saturday afternoon, you know?
Yeah, you never know. Eh? We might be begging guys to enter. My mom might well be the 7th one winning the 1,000 Rand voucher.
Yeah.
But anyway, Gary, I think that brings us to the end of the show then. The guys are coming in. Oracle Rugby's laughing because he says, yes, he got in. He got in first. But anyway, guys, 7 prizes there. So if you're one of the guys who think you're not fast enough on the draw, we do have the 7 prizes up for grabs. Gary, thanks a lot for joining us, and look forward to the pressure test next week.
Brent, that's going to be a really cool competition. The guys need to get. I know it's a little bit of PT, you know what I mean, championship and getting onto Super Brew and everything, but it's definitely going to be worth it. It's going to be a worthwhile prize, and it's going to be a lot of fun to be involved in the pressure test. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, good luck to all the guys, and great punting over the next few days, and we'll catch up on Thursday.
Excellent. Look forward to it. Gary, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for the guys in the live comments, and I see the tweets coming through as well. Hopefully we get to that magical 7 number. Guys, stay close to our Good for the Game YouTube channel. We got The Handicap, our flagship rugby betting show. That's coming up. Got a new guest on who specializes in a bit of European rugby as well. So interesting to see how that goes. We've then got the soccer show where Gary will be giving away another 2,500 Rands worth of potential vouchers if you can beat Everton up against Crystal Palace. So you want to be live on that one. And finally, at 10:30 for the Desperados, we'll be talking Telkom Cup. Till next time.